Hey there, and welcome to Real Investment News. I'm Mike O'Neill. The markets are all up today, but not by much. The Dow is up 30, the S&P is up about 6 points, and the NASDAQ is up 32 points. But there are a couple big tax-related stories that we are watching today. Now, first, the Treasury Department has released a one-page analysis of the tax reform bill, just one page. Now, here's the math problem that everyone is trying to figure out. The bill passed by the Senate would cut $1.5 trillion in revenue. So in the report released today by the Treasury Department, and this is it here, you can see that it says that it would actually boost the GDP by 2.9%. And the report says that that would give us a $1.8 trillion increase in revenue, which means essentially the plan would pay for itself. But the Bipartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says this report, quote, makes a mockery of dynamic scoring and analysis. And they put together this chart that they say shows how all of these groups, we're talking the Tax Policy Center, the Penn-Wharton Budget Model, and the Joint Committee on Taxation, all found that even when you account for growth in the economy, the Senate plan is going to add at least $1 trillion to the deficit. Analysts also note that the Treasury Department is including regulatory and welfare reform and infrastructure programs that are in the president's budget for 2018, which hasn't even passed yet. It also suggests that the boost is going to come from corporate tax cuts, which brings us to our next story. What will corporations do with these tax cuts? And we may already have an idea. This week, a slew of companies, including Bank of America, Home Depot, and T-Mobile, are all unveiling new buyback authorizations to benefit their shareholders. Not surprising if you remember how during the Wall Street Journal CEO Council last November, some of the nation's top CEOs were asked to raise their hands if they plan to use the cuts to increase their company's capital investment, and very few did. Something came as a bit of a surprise to Gary Cohen, President Trump's top economic advisor. Now, on Wednesday, President Trump is scheduled to make his final sales pitch for the tax plan to the American people, and we will be watching. That's it for today's report. Thank you so very much for watching. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, and we will see you after the close.